Hi,
Welcome
Stuart.
to Chicago with me.
Thank you.
Trump says he's open to giving RFK Jr. A role in the administration. Does it matter if Kennedy joins Trump? I mean, how many votes would Trump actually get out of that?
Well, I think you're looking at an incredibly close race, particularly in some of the battleground states where the lead has already shifted back and forth a little bit. So if you're talking about a percentage or two in places like Arizona and Pennsylvania and Michigan, and you have some, working class RFK Jr. supporters, and they find out that their guy is going to be part of a Trump administration, that may be enough to shift their vote. I don't think an endorsement does it, but actually being a part of the policy process would be a big mover for some of these double haters who have found themselves in the RFK Jr. column.
Here's something I need you to explain for me. Look at this headline.
Okay.
Feral 25-year-olds are running Kamala Harris's social media, and it's working. Wait a minute, Kennedy. What is a feral 25-year-old?
It's a 25-year-old who, during the day, runs Kamala Harris's social media, and at night is an Antifa activist.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. But that's what I think of when I think of feral. I think of those dogs that you see when you go to Aruba or Athens. They don't have a home. They're cute, but you don't want to pet them because they have ticks and things like that.
That's a real put down.
I don't want to get West Nile necessarily, so I'm not going to hug any of those supporters. But what they're thinking is these are the youngs, and we don't want to put out a bunch of propaganda, but we want to put out stuff that young people like. So we'll do the tickety talks and whatnot with the 25-year-olds who, they've got a couple dozen years on them, but not enough policy curiosity to really want to know what the vice president would do as president.
Explain to me why Trump has a vastly greater following on every social media platform than does Kamala Harris.
Yeah, he's running about 4-1 on some socials, including on X. He recently went back on X. He has 89 million followers. She's got about 20 million. He even outpaces her on TikTok, which is surprising. It's 10.4 to 4.6 for the vice president. It's a more effective tool, and it's actually it's one of the ways that he gets rid of all the opacity. He can be as transparent as he wants to be, and he can telegraph, not only his feelings and insults, but also some of those policy positions which the vice president's campaign has really been lacking.
But maybe it's also a sign that youngsters don't follow Kamala Harris that closely and
or
not that enthused.
It's like I watch a lot of Instagram reels, like I could spend 2 hours just looking at Instagram reels of like French bulldogs in swimming pools. So it's not just 25-year-olds who are on TikTok anymore. I mean, my 15-year-old calls Instagram TikTok for old people, which I think is a compliment. I'm taking it as such, but it means that there are more voters getting information from social media than from traditional media.
What you get from Trump is authentic. What you get from Kamala Harris is manufactured.
Yeah, it's prepackaged. So it's like going out with Ted Nugent and shooting your own pheasant, or getting a rancid can of pheasants by the sea.
Mm-hmm. That was a fine explanation,
Thank
Kennedy.
you.
I hope you can come back soon and explain more.
I would love to, Stuart. I love being with you, and I love being with Dagan McDowell.
Yeah, this is my feral.
I thought that. You made me laugh. All right. Thank you, Kennedy.
Thank you.
Let's get back to RFK Jr. and Trump. Would an endorsement from RFK Jr. really help Trump, in your opinion, Dagan?
Yes, help, but picking up what Kennedy was saying, if they could fold him in a targeted way and make him part of the campaign on the issues where he really connects with voters first. And so the polling numbers and even people in the Trump campaign will tell you that Bobby Kennedy's campaign pulls votes away from Trump right now, and he benefits, being in the race benefits Kamala Harris. If you look at his position in the race, he pulls votes away. It turns out 45 Trump, 45 Harris, and then 6% to RFK. So Trump loses 1 percentage point in the overall polling. Those are the Fox News polls. But we heard from David Plouffe, the advisor to Kamala Harris. He said, we're preparing for a race so close, very close, it will come down to a vote or two per precinct in those swing states. Do you think that the himbo that is Bobby Kennedy, he's buff, likes to take his shirt off? Who doesn't want to see that?
I like to see that, Dagan.
I joke, but they're trying to position Coach Walls as the every guy. If you want to talk about a manly man who is connecting with that voter base, it's Bobby Kennedy.
Well, I'm going to stay out of this particular discussion deliberately, but you made your point rather well. Let's move on. Thank you, Kennedy.